It's engaging. It's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards. Come back to me.
Welcome to another episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. Today, we are shining a spotlight on two incredible women who turned becoming young mothers into exactly what drives them to help others. The first found herself pregnant and homeless at the age of 20, and now she helps other mothers facing that same pain. The other actually was denied a scholarship because she was a mom, and now she helps raise funds to help mothers not have to choose between a degree and a dream. Their stories will inspire you, maybe have you tearing up a little bit. Let's start first with Taylor Harris. She is an entrepreneur and founder of Taylor's House of Hope, a nonprofit organization that works to transform an unplanned pregnancy into an opportunity for success by equipping young women through classes and other assistance with the knowledge and skills necessary to become self-sufficient. I absolutely love what you do, Taylor. Welcome to Chattin' with Chelsea.
Oh, thank you so much for having me today.
Now, we met way back when I was doing news, and
Yes.
I was first able to learn your story. So let's go back to when you were 19 and you first found out that you were pregnant. What were the circumstances you were already in at that time?
Okay, so at the age of 19, I was currently in college. I was a college student attending Houston Community College. I was still living at home with my parents. I was very much sheltered. And with that, I also sing in church, and so I sing on the praise and worship team and things of that nature. And so I met a guy who was a church musician, and we started hanging out. My mother was the minister of music, and my father was the drummer, and it just turned out to be like, you know,
like it just felt like, oh, this is right. Okay.
Right. So I
Okay.
met this guy, and he began to come to our house for Sunday dinners and stuff like that. And I got really excited about it because I was sheltered. I had never had a boyfriend, or, you know, my parents allowing me to leave with the guy and go on road trips and stuff like that. And so I was really excited, and I was anxious. And, you know, being that I was sheltered, sometimes when you're so sheltered, you become vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so when I met this guy, I was just that vulnerable and thought that he was going to be the one, thought that he was going to marry me because that's what he was telling me, you know. And I just fell into a trap, and with that, I began to just spiral out of control. I stopped going to classes at school, started skipping classes, and started driving my little cash car all across town to go wherever he was and calling in to work, and, you know, just really wanting to be wrapped up with this guy. And eventually it turned into me being pregnant, me dropping out of college, me destroying my credit, me blowing the engine on my vehicle, and all of those things, all the bad stuff that you could think of. But, you know, I say that this was self-infliction. When I met this guy, God told me that I should not be entangled with him. But because I was so excited, because I was vulnerable,
And you wanted it.
I did what I wanted to do. And so I became pregnant. And when I got pregnant, you know, my parents, at that point, prior to them knowing that I'm pregnant, they were already fed up, saying, you know, you haven't been coming home, you're breaking the curfew. And at this point where it's like, we're just a storage, you only come here to get clothes and you leave, you know. And so since you're with him every day, wherever you guys have been staying, you may need to go stay there.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
gonna be with them then. That's where you want to be. Okay.
And can you blame them, you
Yeah,
know, when
yeah, I
you're
got
doing
it.
what you want to do? And so I went home, I gathered my items, and I did just that. I went and was out in the streets with this guy. And so
So then when you found out you were pregnant, what was his response?
he seemed excited. He portrayed to be excited. And as time went on, it didn't even take long. During my 4th month of pregnancy, he dumped me off on his mother and his sister. And there I was sleeping on the couch at his mother's house, his sister's house. And he's gone and has moved on and is in a different relationship. And
oh, wow.
Yeah.
He fully moved on.
Right.
At what point were you hopping around in shelters?
And so at that moment when I was at his mother's house, his sister's house on a sofa, I realized that, you know, this isn't gonna work. I can't stay here, and you know, we don't even have contact. He's not calling to even check on me. And so I started calling around Houston looking for different shelters that I could possibly get some assistance from. And it turned out that one of the resources that I reached out to was called Lifehouse Houston, which was a maternity home. And it wasn't even 10 minutes away from where we were residing. It was so ironic, but I found that place and I went to that place and I stayed there until I delivered my child. For 6 months I was there at Lifehouse Houston. And honestly, you know, when you think of a shelter and you hear the word shelter, you think it's the worst thing ever. You think maybe it's a big room with cots all over the floor and everybody's in this big room. But when I got to Lifehouse Houston, it was totally different. It felt more like a retreat. It gave me all of the peace that I needed. They helped me through that pregnancy. I went there not knowing how to cook. I had always seen my mom and my grandma in the kitchen cooking, but I never wanted to partake. And so with that, when I went to that place, you know, you had to cook. Everybody had to cook a meal once a week. And so, you know, that it taught me how to cook. It taught me, I went through therapy. I went to childbirth education classes and all of that stuff. And by the end of my term of that pregnancy from Lifehouse Houston, I had everything that I needed for my child. I had over 400 diapers. I had a crib. I had strollers. I had everything that I could have possibly needed. And I always say, you know, if you just be obedient to God and trust Him and let Him direct your path, He will take care of you and He will make the process easy in whatever it is that you're going through.
So now you work to provide those same services, that same support to other moms. So we're going to talk about Taylor's House of Hope later on in the show. But first, we have another mom here to share her story. We'll be back right after this.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And neighbors, you interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chattin' with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Before the break, we heard Taylor's story of becoming a young mom. Now welcome Jasmine Robinson, founder of the Collegiate Mom Coalition. All right, so you started this whole thing because you were a mom while you were in college.
Yes.
So take us back to that time.
Yeah, so I got pregnant at 19, And when that happened, I really wasn't sure what to do other than I have to finish school. And so while I was going to school, I discovered that my university had a pageant. It was like the main university pageant, and I wanted to participate in it because there was a scholarship allocated to the winner.
Oh, was this a big scholarship?
Yes,
like
a big
it could
scholarship.
really help out.
It could really help out. Anything could help, honestly.
Absolutely, you know, I've been there.
Yeah.
What were you studying in college?
I was studying at the time to get my bachelor's in architecture.
Okay, all right. So you want to get into this this pageant to help pay for school, and what happened?
So when I went to the interest meeting with everyone else, I sat through, found out what the requirements were, and I was really excited because I'm like, I check all the boxes, I have the GPA, all of the things. And so as everyone was leaving, they pulled me to the side, and when I say they, it was the admins for the pageant, and they expressed to me that, hey, we know you have children, because they had seen both of my daughters on campus, and they said you are not eligible to participate.
Oh, wow.
And I could not understand why. So I was like, well, could you please show me the rules and where, you know, this is said? And so there were, at the very bottom in very fine print, it said, you cannot be a mom, you can't have had an abortion, you can't have lived with someone, you can't be married.
Wow, okay.
And I think I said you can't be divorced as well. So
yeah, in the very fine print, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were at first picturing yourself with the crown.
Right.
Because you met all these requirements, GPA requirements,
Yes.
all of that. So you were doing all the things that you needed to do while being a mom, but
Absolutely.
you could not participate in this pageant.
Absolutely.
How did you feel?
I felt discouraged. I felt alienated. I felt as if I didn't fit the demographic of a college student. I automatically, in my head, felt as if there was a separation of education and motherhood. And so it was very hard because the kids are here and I'm still here, and I am equivalent to these other young ladies who want to participate in this pageant on paper. So I went to the admin, and I went all the way up to the vice president of the university, and I was told their idea of this pageant queen or representative of the university is someone who's pure, someone who does not have children, someone who is not married, someone who essentially in their idea is just a student. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you feel a kind of way about that?
Yeah, I felt a major way about it because, you know, as you know, as a mom yourself, we don't play about our kids. And so
No, we do not.
when you do the things that you do for your kids, we all came from a woman. That is my thing that I always say. Someone labored and birthed to get you here. Period. And so to be disrespected in that way, because that's how it felt, is a disrespect and a disservice to those less than 2% of teen moms who graduate college before the age of 30. That is a startling statistic, but it also starts at that level. It starts in the high schools. It starts in your own home when you're discouraged to participate, to go further, when you're told just get a job, when you're told wait until your child grows up for you to go back to school. That is what impacts that statistic. And then the lack of resources and universities not really participating in that, almost wanting to sweep it under the rug. And
I was going to ask you that. Was it a feeling like you were pushed to the shadows or pushed to the corners?
Absolutely. And I participated in school. I was the vice president of an organization on that campus, and it was just a slap in the face, really, because my fees don't change because I'm a mom. I still have to show up to class, whether I'm a mom or not. With a child on my hip or not, I have to be able to participate. I have to be able to do the things that anyone else, regardless of having a child or not, or married or divorced, has to do. We have to show up. And really, when you're going to school and you are making dinners and you are working 5 jobs like I was working overnight, I was working during the day, I was full-time at school, I was writing papers for people.
Oof.
I was doing hair. I was selling purses.
Okay, you were doing everything. Writing papers,
plays. I was
purses.
doing everything.
Wow.
Everything to make ends meet.
Yeah, you could be even more motivated than a lot of your classmates.
Absolutely.
Because of everything that you have on your plate.
Absolutely.
So you were still able to pay for school through all these hustles and finish out?
So I finished school. I had to get student loans to help ends meet. I was also on government assistance. I took whatever resources I could get with childcare. Childcare was $1,300 a month. I didn't have that as a student. I was barely making $500 a week, barely, if that. And that didn't include the things that fell outside of food, clothes, things like that. I didn't have the resources to get diapers or whatever. You know, it takes a village. It really does. And so I finished out of school. I graduated a semester early with a 3.6 GPA with my master's in community development.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
So, yeah.
All right. So now you're helping other moms who are in your similar situation also complete school. So we are going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick break and come back with all the things y'all are doing to help others right after this.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
In the show, we heard Jasmine and Taylor's stories of how they became young moms. But now we want to talk about what you're doing now to help out other moms. So, Taylor, let's start with you with Taylor's House of Hope. You do a lot of different things. Lay it out for us.
Yes. So, Taylor's House of Hope is a nonprofit organization that caters to women experiencing unplanned pregnancies and also overall women with children. We are located in North Houston, like off of Little York and Hardy Tow Road. And with that, we're able to operate as a day shelter for those who are chronically homeless, where they can come in, get hot meals, get showers, and plugged in with other community resources. Wow. We host various classes down from financial literacy on to maternal health, childbirth education. We also help with, career building, with getting resumes done and things of that nature. And we also host community baby showers every quarter for those who may need support in that way. And so, yes, that's Taylor's House of Hope, and that's what we do. Yes. The goal is to eventually have a maternity home.
Wow. Yes. Okay, we're praying for that for you.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to happen.
It is, right? I mean, we're seeing it. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yes. So, Jasmine, you're helping moms who want to finish school as well.
Yeah, so it actually started off as a pageant. So because of the denial of me being a part of this university pageant, I started the pageant at my university, and I did that for 2 years. And we had 6 winners, and they got $6,000 in scholarships in total from Student Government Association at the time. And so every single woman who went through that program graduated successfully. And I still keep in contact with them. And so life started lifing, and I started, living my life. And then I just circled back a few years ago and was like, it needs to be a nonprofit. And so we're actually bringing it back. This fall, we're going going to bring back the Miss Collegiate Mom Scholarship Pageant, except this time it'll be the Miss Collegiate Mom Texas Scholarship Pageant.
Oh, beautiful.
And so we're opening it up to the entire state of Texas. We'll also be going to Atlanta. We're just going to move around, and the whole goal is so that we have this pageant in every single state, and it'll eventually be like the Miss America pageant per se, where they can all come together and compete for scholarship funds to go to college. The other part of it is I do host community events as well, and so we have different scholarship fundraising events, but also resume building workshops, financial assistance, teaching them how to get resources while they're in college, even professional dress seminars, teaching them how to dress for, you know, these different jobs that they're looking for. Also entrepreneurial workshops, how to use different programs like Canva or even Excel or Outlook, those types of things. So it can be very granular at times, but to me, it's just all about having fun and also recognizing how serious and real this is, and how these skills can help them with the rest of their lives.
Okay. See, we're seeing that nationwide pageant for you as well. I love the vision, from both of you ladies. Okay, so how does it feel to be in a position where you are now, where you are using a setback to help set up others for success?
It's a blessing to be able to be a blessing to the community and help others who are going through, because while you may still be going through whatever hurt or whatever financial situations and whatever that you may be going through, you know, you're turning your pain into purpose and you're helping build others up. And so I really thank God for choosing me to fulfill such mission.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it feels amazing. It feels really good to look back at my life and say, if I could have told my 19-year-old self anything, is that, girl, you make it out and you do a phenomenal job. Even as a because of motherhood, you are where you are. And that, like she said, it's a blessing to be a blessing, that there are people who look up to me in such a way that sometimes I'm like, really, me? But I know that God put me in this position because he knew who I was going to become and what I was going to do. And so that thing that I thought was an obstacle really wasn't. It was God saying, okay, here is your purpose. And through your pain becomes your passion. And so when people ask me, how do you know what your purpose is, or how did you know what it was? I'm like, honestly, it's the thing that you do with the most ease that may be very difficult for other people. And so being ostracized or being set aside, I'm like, no, God is setting me apart. And sometimes you have to be buried in that dark place, and you have to think that you're alone, but it's so that God can talk to you and you can have a conversation. You can't have a conversation in a loud room. Sometimes you have to go into that other room.
Okay, see, I said there might be some tears today. And I'm the one who needs a tissue. Oh, that is so beautiful. I mean, and listening to both of your stories, my mind is racing because I'm just like, how? How did you do this? I'm a grown woman with one 4-year-old, and it feels like I can hardly get it together every day. So y'all were doing this, you know, struggling, trying to figure out what was going to be on the table every night. Were there certain things that helped push you through, or even, you know, just things that like, this is how I function, this is how I made it happen? What do you say to that?
What really keeps me grounded and keeps me focused and keeps me going is that me being transparent and able to understand that this was a self-infliction. For one, you have to be honest with yourself and recognize, how did you get in this situation? If you can't be honest with yourself and accept whatever it is that landed you in that situation, you will be miserable. You know, it may result in depression, but when you can just be obedient, you know, trust God, have that faith, have that joy. Don't be angry. Don't be bitter. Don't beat yourself up. You know, pick your bed up and walk. You know, call around, look for the help that you need. A lot of people are very prideful and they don't want to call and rely on resources. They rather try to figure it out themselves. But truth is that there's resources out there for you, and you should take advantage of those resources, because that it will help you. That's how I was able to overcome, is because I took advantage of the resources that were made available to me for that time.
Okay, Jasmine, you had 2 at the time, so
like 2 under 2 because they're only a year apart. So
yeah,
I know. I mean, honestly, many nights I cried in the closet, and that was my place of peace, in a sense, to kind of get away from everything. And that's what I meant by that separation, because I thought I was the only person going through it. And oftentimes I would ask God, like, can you please just change the world? And then I realized one day, I said, you know what, change me. Change me. Maybe it's me. And so I just started asking for the provisions. I don't need to ask anyone. As a single mom, I don't need to ask anyone for the provisions. Lord, bless my finances. Lord, put me in position where I need to be. Put me in earshot of someone who can change my life. If it's not me, just put my name in someone's mind. And so that's really what happened. I mean, truly, the things that I prayed for and asked for, when I asked the right questions, God answered.
Wow.
So I think that's the difference.
Okay, well, let's send that up with an amen. And we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone? Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
I want to thank our incredible guests for coming on and sharing their stories. You can check out Taylor's House of Hope and the Collegiate Mom Coalition. You got an event coming up as well, so you guys check them out to support them, or if you need support yourself. And thank you again for watching another episode of Chatting with Chelsea. Keep up with us on social at Chelsea Show Fox, and we'll see you on the next episode.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me?
Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that?
Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Coming up on We Sound Crazy.
I love that song. She didn't like it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to sing it. That song, they could have flushed it in the toilet.
We Sound Crazy. He is one half of the duo Louis York and an award-winning songwriter.
Yes, sir. It's Claude Kelly.
He is an award-winning songwriter and other half of the dynamic duo Louis York.
What's up, y'all? It's Chuck Harmony.
Music executive and Renaissance man.
Hey, it's Billionaire.
Music aficionado.
What's up? It's Timon Bacon from Macon.
We Sound Crazy is your official backstage pass to all things music and culture.
On tonight's episode of We Sound Crazy, we sit down with Coco, Taj, and Lily of the legendary R&B group SWV. Welcome to another week of We Sound Crazy. Your boy Billionaire is in an undisclosed location, but I'm in the building.